I wanted to talk about one of the more underrated benefits of the in-season tournament. At this point, the pros of the in-season tournament have been talked about a lot. It's a way to get more investment in the regular season. It's a way to get more under-the-radar stars in the national spotlight. Obviously, winning it gets you that $500,000 cash prize. But one of the neat little wrinkles of both playing and obviously going as far as you can in the in-season tournament, one that I think a lot of teams are going to focus on in the years to come, is that it's a great way to get players playing meaningful basketball. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the LeBron James or the Anthony Davises of the world, but come April when teams are trying to figure out their playoff rotation, one of the big questions you have a lot of times with certain guys is, well, can we trust this guy in the playoffs? Can we throw him into the fire? Because this guy might not have played in a lot of big time games. He might not have even played in playoff games. And as we all know, the difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball is really night and day. So when it comes to certain players, there are those questions of, will he hold up in the playoffs without the necessary experience of playing in big time pressure basketball? And obviously the in-season tournament doesn't compare to the actual playoffs, but it's definitely somewhere above even just your average TNT or ESPN game. One of the best examples I could give is Cam Reddish. LeBron talked after the in-season tournament win, talking about how he really wanted to do this for Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish had sort of fallen under the radar and people were criticizing him, and he wanted to put Reddish on that stage. Now, Reddish is a little different because he has played playoff basketball. In fact, he's actually played in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Hawks back in 2021. But let's picture a scenario where the in-season tournament doesn't exist. And come April, Reddish has so much pressure on him to not just perform in the playoffs, but perform in the playoffs for the Lakers. Because as we all know, the Lakers have a really high bar when it comes to playoff success. It's championship or bust. And those are really different expectations compared to when he was on the Hawks, where it was a lot of just sort of, we're happy to be here, we're exceeding expectations, just getting to the conference finals, so that he was sort of playing with house money no matter what. So if it was just regular season throughout and then the playoffs, that's a really big switch that not every NBA player can handle. And again, not saying the in-season tournament compares to playoff basketball, but there is something to be said about getting reps playing in games that matter more than the average game. So it's on national television, so it's single elimination. So there is this incentive to win, whether it's the trophy or the medal or the money. It is bigger than regular season basketball, and I think we're going to see a lot of teams value that experience moving forward. I know the Pacers certainly value it, not just from a, hey, we got our name out in the national spotlight perspective, but like a perfect example, Tyrese Halliburton had one national TV game before the in-season tournament. In the in-season tournament, he had 3. And again, higher stakes, elimination basketball, where something you actually want to win beyond just, what it means in the standings. That kind of stuff prepares you for the playoffs. So whether it's the Lakers or the Pacers or other teams in the coming years, I'll definitely be watching to see if a player references the benefits of playing in the in-season tournament and how it helped them prepare for the playoffs.